captain the team except Pakistan.
My first impression of Imran when he first came to Worcester was that he was obviously a boy with a lot of talent, but there was obviously a lot of work to do and a lot of development to do in his cricket, especially his bowling. He was sort of ball wide of the crease and a big sort of in-swing bowler, so he had a lot of work to do with that. But I think in those days, I remember Imran probably more of a batsman than he was as a bowler.
There it is, a good hand for Imran Khan. And making the 1 into 2 there. So Imran going to 51, exhilarating performance from the Pakistani Test cricketer.
Khan to repeat it.
All over the place.
Well, not surprisingly, seemed very doubtful what was going to happen to that ball when it pitched. Came through at a fairly normal height, and Imran Khan has made the breakthrough. That's it. Desperate effort to plonk another this time over the tavern boundary. Sees the end of Ian Bolton.
A lot of cricketers simply walk into the dressing room, play their cricket and go home, and there's no sort of desire to sort of expand one's horizons. But I thought that Imran was pretty special in so much as he had a view on more than just cricket, on all sorts of aspects of life, and certainly at Sussex, where we'd had chaps in the past like Tiger Pataudi and Dexter and exciting characters like that. It was good to have Imran with us as well.
I think that the first 2 years or 3 years of county cricket can be extremely useful for anyone. I mean, anyone from outside England who wants to develop his game, here you get the perfect cricket education. But after the 2 or 3 years, I actually think that it starts doing you damage, because it's just not possible to maintain your enthusiasm for the game playing 7 days a week. It's just not possible. I mean, if it becomes a job, if cricket becomes a job, then what suffers is your enthusiasm. And I feel that enthusiasm is the most important thing for the game, because that's what gives you the competitiveness. For instance, in Australia, they don't play as much cricket, but whatever cricket they play, it is played with so much enthusiasm and competitiveness that in just 1/3 or 1/4 of the cricket which is played in Australia compared to England in one season, they produce better players. Physical training for me in the beginning was something that I had to do. I mean, I always, when I was at HSN, I was used to playing sport every day because it was compulsory sports in HSN. I mean, apart from the fact that it was compulsory, I loved sport. I would play in HSN, and then I would come back and play in Zaman Park until it was dark. And then at times I would come back home and play some sort of sport indoors. My greatest regret was not having brothers.
In the middle of the afternoon, in the middle of summer in Pakistan, it is very hot and nobody was willing to come out of their homes. So he'd come to my younger sister and myself and say, could you bowl to me? Because he was doing his batting practice. It's not that he played with us. We never got a chance to bat. We were only supposed to stand there for 1 hour or 2 hours bowling to him.
There were times when I first started jogging in Bagh-e-China, people would stop and look. People would, they'd say things like, are you mad? Who's this mad man running? And all that sort of thing. But it was that training that helped me in my bowling.
And that's out caught behind the partnership for Elton, and at last Imran has got a wicket, and they're all rushing up to congratulate him. Well, a good wicket indeed too, that of Tony Gregg. Caught behind by Wasim Barry. So the first wicket in Test match cricket for Imran Khan.
It was in 1976 for the first time I realized that I could become a genuine fast bowler. Until then, Worcester used to discourage me from bowling fast. They always insisted that I should bowl line and length. They felt that I had more potential as a medium pacer.
I don't think he honestly knew himself quite what potential he had. And in his probably last season with Worcester was the season that he was just starting to believe that he could bowl far and above medium pace.
The problem was that my temperament was that of a fast bowler. I could not take getting thrashed. Whenever a batsman hit me, there's a certain sort of anger used to rise within me, a desire to avenge the insult. And it was from that reason the pace would come. When I moved to Sussex, the greatest advantage I had there was that John Snow was there.
We were playing somewhere up country, I think, and Majid Khan came up to me and said, do you notice the way that Imran runs to the boundary, runs differently to the way he runs up the bowl? And I said, yeah, that's true. And why do you think that was? And considering it a bit, it looked as though it was obvious that when he put his marker down, he put it down about 10 paces behind the wicket or something, and then disappeared another 30 paces, and then tried to hit the marker on his run in. And of course, running from that distance, he couldn't do it, and therefore his run up was very broken. And he only really improved, and there was a dramatic improvement once he got that sorted out.
Khan.
Like all great fast bowlers, Imran, every time you saw him, each tour that you saw him, he had something different in his armoury. He'd learnt a new delivery, and that's a sign of a fine fast bowler. Every time you play against them, he comes up with something new. The other thing that I knew about Imran from playing against him was that he had terrific fighting spirit. I remember playing against him at VFL Park in Melbourne, one of the early games under lights, and Imran came in and he bowled me a bouncer, and I pulled it away for 4. And as I ran down, I said to him, that's what happens to short pitch rubbish. And Imran just turned and he looked at me and he said, we'll see about that. And he went back, and the next one went flying straight past my ear.
Well, that was a pretty useful shot to deliver.
The thing that's been most impressive about him in the years I've watched him is that in-shoot he's developed. And he can do it with the old ball as well. It's a matter of keeping the seam in the right position so that it doesn't scramble on the way down the pitch towards the batsman, and that the air can work on the side of the ball. And he keeps that seam perfectly aligned all the time.
And I'll definitely give credit to Imran that he's the one who taught myself, Fakar Yunus and Akib Javed how to swing the ball.
There have been